The best part of Classroom with the Elite Season 3 was the final episode in which it really hyped up Season 4. That was more exciting than anything else that happened in this season. So let's take a look back. Spoilers, of course. Starts out with the Forest training camp this season. It seemed like a challenge that the students would be able to overcome without much difficulty, and I guess that's okay for the beginning of the season since it's just easing you back into things, and this arc seemed to be more about setting up things to come later, so I'm willing to kind of let that slide. After that, we get into Ichinose past. Now, I've long said that Ichinose is best girl, but when a girl's this nice, you gotta wonder, maybe she has some kind of dark past or some kind of dark side. Well, this is where we finally find out what that is. And it's really not all that bad. Maybe in the real world it would be, but in this show, which is full of basically child abuse and borderline child slavery, what's a little shoplifting? Not that big of a deal. So that was a bit of a disappointment. Then we get into the battle with Sakayanagi. Now, she was really hyped up within the show, and so you had to figure she was going to be a little bit of a disappointment. Just to understand why, you got to look at the other class leaders as well. So a guy like Ryuen or a girl like Ichinose, why do they match up well with Ayanokoji, and why doesn't Sakayanagi? Well, a guy like Ryuen, what does he bring to the table? He is willing to play really fucking dirty. So you figured Ayanokoji, sure, he's cold and indifferent, but he's not willing to stoop to Ryuen's level. If Ryuen plays dirty enough, maybe he can pull out a win. Ichinose is the exact opposite. She has the power of love on her side, so Ayanokoji doesn't understand that. If she brings people together in a way that he can't, maybe she can pull off a win that way. But then we have Sakayanagi. Sakayanagi just brings smarts to the table, and so does Ayanokoji, so maybe they're, inherently rivals. What else does she bring to the table? She also seems to know something about Ayanokoji's past. So you figure maybe with her intelligence plus her knowledge of his past, she might be able to leverage that past against him or blackmail him somehow or otherwise manipulate him and get a win that way. What you figure she can't do is beat him in a battle of pure wits, because that's kind of Ayanokoji's thing. He's just smarter than everyone else. So the moment Sakayanagi said that all she wanted was a fair fight, you knew it was over for her. She was definitely going to lose. Or if she ended up winning, it's because, I guess, either Ayanokoji let her win or because somebody cheated, right? And that's, of course, what ultimately happened. And Sakayanagi, even though she got the win, she didn't get what she really wanted. Still, I thought that was kind of a disappointment. I thought she should have played a little more dirty, perhaps a bit more manipulative, and that would have made things more interesting. But the moment she said she wanted a fair fight, all over. Now, one thing that I thought would have been hilarious if it actually did happen, and I didn't think there was a good chance of it happening, but for a second I thought it really might go there. If Ayanokoji, training Horikita for that chess match, actually got her to a level where she was capable of beating Sakayanagi, and then said, yeah, Sakayanagi, you know what? I know you wanted that fair fight with me really bad, but Horikita's good enough to beat you. That would have been hilarious. I'm sad the show didn't go there, but once again, I didn't really expect that. And speaking of Horikita, this is the part of the show where her personality is supposed to heal. You wouldn't really know that by watching her behavior. She seemed like perhaps she was starting to go down the right path, but she certainly wasn't anywhere close to the finish line. But she cut her hair. And by the rules of anime, that means she changed. That brings us to the final episode. You have all the other class leaders and Horikita coming up to challenge Ayanokoji. You have that new faculty member saying that Ayanokoji has to find the plant in next year's class. And the biggest news of all, Ayanokoji is now going out with Karuizawa, which is, I'm assuming it's going to be a train wreck, but that has me really hyped up for season 4. Now, what else did I like about this season besides the final episode? Well, like I said, I liked everything up until the Sakayanagi reveal that she just wanted a fair fight. It seemed like she did have enough, manipulation on her side and intelligence on her side to be able to pull off something interesting. It's a shame none of that ever happens. I also like that they finally kicked someone out of the class. Once in a while, you got to do something like that to keep us guessing, because everything up until now has been resolved a little too neatly. I also like that because they kicked the guy out, Hirata got pissed off, and I like that he dropped the nice guy act, although I thought he was won back over a little too easily. So, all in all, I'd say this season was a single plus. I'm not going to say that I didn't like it, but still, when a show's this ambitious, you kind of want it to be better.